Imagine for a moment a world where silence is not just the absence of sound, but an infinite source of wisdom, where every pause is an opportunity to hear something deeper, something that can only be heard when everything around you stops. Today, I will tell you a Zen Buddhist story that will not only change your perspective, but also has the power to transform your life, if you allow it. Once upon a time, there was a young disciple, full of questions and restless to find answers. He had spent years studying sacred texts, seeking masters, longing for enlightenment. But despite all his efforts, he felt that something was still missing, something that no book or word had taught him. Determined, he set out to find a renowned master, a Zen monk who lived in the mountains. When he finally arrived at the monastery, the disciple was eager, almost breathless. He had so many questions to ask. His mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. "Master," the young man began, "how can I achieve enlightenment? What should I do to find inner peace?" He expected a wise answer, a phrase that would change everything. But the master just smiled softly and said nothing. He simply remained silent. The silence stretched on, a minute, 2 minutes, and then more. The young disciple began to feel uncomfortable. His mind, which had been eager for answers, was now filled with uncertainties. "Why isn't he speaking?" the disciple thought. "Did he not understand my question?" The longer the master remained silent, the more lost the disciple felt. He had hoped that, somehow, the master's words would be the key to his spiritual awakening. But all he received was silence. As the days passed, the disciple began to notice something he had never seen before. In the silence, he started to hear himself, not the external answers he had been seeking, but the inner voice that had always been there, muffled by his incessant thoughts. The silence, which had once irritated him, now became a companion. He began to understand that the master did not need to speak to teach. The real teaching was happening within him. When the disciple finally understood the power of silence, he returned to the master, but this time without questions. They sat together side by side in a profound and transformative quietude. It was there, without words, that the disciple achieved what he had been seeking: peace, clarity, enlightenment. How many times in our lives do we seek external answers? How often do we believe that the solution to our problems lies in advice, books, videos, when, in fact, what we need is silence? Have you ever stopped to think about this? And now I ask you, what does silence mean to you? Have you ever had an experience where silence spoke louder than words? Leave your experience in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts and reflect with you. And if this story touched something inside you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This simple act is not just a gesture. It is a commitment you make to yourself to seek more wisdom, more silence, more peace. And if you are looking for an even deeper journey of transformation, I invite you to check out the course Biblical Path to Prosperity. There, I share how the principles of the Bible can guide you to a life of fullness and abundance, just like the silent wisdom of Zen. Don't let this opportunity pass. The link is in the video description. Transformation is within your reach. Perhaps you're wondering, how can I apply this wisdom in my life? The answer is simple, yet profound. Start by listening to the silence. Every day, it has more to teach you than you might imagine.